Hello, welcome to PC Jack. This week, we've been treated some pretty big reveals from Computex 2021. Let's take a look at the highlights. So, Computex kicked off this week with a bunch of announcements and reveals from both AMD, Nvidia and Intel. If you're interested in the reveals and announcements we'll be going over in today's video, then I'll make sure to include some links in the video description for some further reading for you. So, let's get into it. Kicking things off, Intel made the great announcement that they expect the semiconductor shortage to continue well into 2023, with the effects still being felt throughout the rest of the decade. Thanks, Intel. While Intel provided further details on their upcoming Alder Lake S, which is due to arrive in Q4 this year, much of their presentation remained on their current Tiger Lake S mobile processors, with a heavy focus on the workplace and the pandemic, but not a great deal of news and information for gamers or DIY enthusiasts. Next up, AMD provided some really interesting news on their latest hardware and software, including the long-awaited DLSS alternative, Fidelity FX Super Resolution, or FSR for short. With game support beginning from 22nd of June onwards, the bigger shock was that not only does this support RDNA 2, the latest 6000 series, but also supporting hardware dating back to Vega, and shockingly, also Nvidia GPUs. A bold move, and one that I think that gamers all over are going to be hopefully embracing if it is successful. Even AMD have also included benchmarks on the GTX 1060, which shows a significant performance improvement. Being supported by GPU Open, it'll be really interesting to see whether FSR does actually take off the way we would like to see, and the implications it will have for DLSS moving forward. And more importantly, how well received it'll be by gamers and developers. AMD also provided further details on their Ryzen 5000 Pro series, and additionally some news on the Ryzen 5000 series APUs, the 5600G and the 5700G, which I covered in a previous video a couple of weeks back. Priced at $259 and $359 respectively, and launching on 5th of August. While priced pretty closely to their non-integrated graphics counterparts, the 5600X and 5800X, these could still hopefully be a useful solution for gamers struggling to pin down a graphics card in this extremely volatile market at the moment. Another interesting reveal is AMD's brand new 3D V-Cache chiplet design, a massive development which can allow AMD to stack up to 192 megabytes of L3 cache across Ryzen CCXs or core complex, which should definitely worry Intel as they lead up to their Alder Lake release. Dr. Lisa Su even shown off a prototype version of this on the Ryzen 9 5900X, which they've already been using internally, and it does show up to a 15% increase in certain titles at 1080p. Additionally, AMD will also be integrating RDNA 2 into the latest Tesla lineup. So now I'm wondering, will miners start buying cards too? Either way, AMD seem to have pulled off a pretty big win at Computex this year, but there's still more on the way. Finally, Nvidia have given some big announcements for both the gaming and enterprise market. For now, we'll be focusing on the gaming side, but one of my favourite reveals has to be the brand new support for ray tracing and DLSS in Doom Eternal, with its software already having a huge track record for extremely well optimised performance in games. I can only imagine how amazing it's going to make Doom Eternal look as is, as it's already an amazing looking game. This support comes in addition to other titles as well, such as Red Dead Redemption 2, Rainbow Six Siege, No Man's Sky, and more, with the inclusion of DLSS 2.0. I've just finished replaying Red Dead Redemption 2, but I'm definitely going to have to go back and try out these new features in addition to Doom Eternal's ray tracing support, just to test these new features out. So I'll make sure to follow those up in a later video, so make sure you subscribe and don't miss out on those. And lastly, as we all expected, Nvidia have now finally and officially revealed the RTX 3080 Ti and RTX 3070 Ti. It's now been confirmed that the RTX 3080 Ti will now launch this week on the 3rd of June, with the RTX 3070 Ti launching on 10th of June next week. In terms of specs, it seems clear that Nvidia are now trying to target the 3090 at the professional market, whereas they are now claiming that the RTX 3080 Ti is the fastest GPU. While the RTX 3070 Ti, priced at $599, seems like a fairly modest increase over the RTX 3070's $499 MSRP, the RTX 3080 Ti's price of $1,199 compared to the RTX 3080's $699 MSRP is going to be a slightly difficult pill to chew for a lot of gamers. Additionally, these are just the prices for the Founders Edition cards. God knows what AIB pricing is going to be after this. As we expected, a bit of a slap to the face for gamers, but I'm not too sure how well received these are going to be by gamers come release. With little to no mention on the current state of the market from Nvidia, it seems slightly oblivious for them to not mention this at all during their keynote. However, even AMD seemed a little absent in addressing the current market, so it's worth bearing in mind with these announcements. We'll still need to wait on third-party benchmarks to verify the actual performance improvement that Nvidia are promising on these new cards, and also to see whether the price increase over their non-TI counterparts is actually justified, and also to see whether these cards are even worth considering given the state of the market as of now. So that's it for today's video. Lots of interesting news from Computex over the last couple of days. Please leave a comment to let us know what your favourite announcement was this week. If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to like and subscribe for more videos coming on the way soon. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.